Good evening, everyone. My name is Tatiana Katko, and I'm happy to have you join our webinar tonight, Studying STEM in the United States. And we have representatives from the Georgia State University here with us. We have Isley and we have Khristin Isley, and we also have Katie McClure in the background. So, ladies, welcome. The floor is yours, please.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for inviting us to this webinar. Hopefully you all will leave with more information about studying STEM programs in the United States. And we'll speak a little bit about Georgia State University and the admission requirements. My name is Khristin. I am one of the international admissions counselors at Georgia State, and I will turn it over to Peasley, who will begin the presentation. And then at the end, we will leave it to some time for Q&A for the audience to ask us questions live. So go ahead, Peace, take it away.
Thank you so much, Khristin. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Peasley from Georgia State University. We are delighted to be here sharing this webinar. Hopefully, we'll go through some important information. We're going to use the first half an hour to present to you an overview about the STEM majors in the U.S. and using Georgia State University as an example. Go through some application process, requirements, even scholarships. After that, we're going to leave about another half an hour for Q&A session. So let's start the presentation. So we have got a lot of questions during the years we work with the international students about the U.S. higher education system. So I think it will be better to start today's presentation with a brief introduction of the university system in the U.S. As you might know, there's a lot of universities and colleges in the U.S. Actually, there's over 5,000 of them. There are different types and different settings, and so mostly they're divided by or categorized by 4 different types. There's a comprehensive research universities, like Georgia State is one of the tier 1 research institution in the U.S. And also there are university colleges, liberal arts colleges. And also there's a community college and technical college levels. Georgia State in 2015 has consolidated with a local perimeter college. It's a community college that made Georgia State one of the unique institutions that we have a 2-year associate degree. We also have 4-year bachelor's degree, master, as well as PhD. In addition to that, you will see there's public institution, public university and colleges, and also private settings, private university and colleges. And since the past decades, I work in the higher education for the past 15 years. I would say around the 2000s, starting at that time, we see a lot of growth in the language institution. We call it intensive English program. Georgia State has one of them as well. Students come here, that's a non-degree offering unit. A lot of them are either attached to a university or they are a separate entity. So let's move on to the next slide, please. So STEM major, we all know that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That field has experienced a significant growth since 2010. If you have done some research, I would recommend you to do the Pew Research Center. Their analysis is always what we go to. According to the research, in the engineering, computer science, and IT field, there have been an over 80% increase overall. Of course, that including both undergraduate and graduate. That said, the STEM degree graduates has far passed and overpaced that for all other degree majors. There are several reasons behind it. A lot of them you will see is because of the OPT, the job opportunity. International students, foreign graduate approved for OPT, which stands for optional practical training. There are also full-time jobs in the STEM field has increased over in the since 2008 over 400%. Next slide, please. So as I said, there are several reasons behind it, mostly because in the classroom, a lot of STEM majors that provides the real world experience. We, for example, at Georgia State, we are requiring a lot of hands-on approach and teaching. The CPT as well as a co-op, which is a paid internships, has been built into the curriculum as a requirement, which means the student's going to take one semester. A lot of students take 2 semesters, which is a year off. In addition to their in-classroom study, they have been assigned or located in a company business to do a hands-on practice. Most of the co-ops are paid. Internship, on the other hand, a lot of them are students on their own, seek or secure those positions. Many of them for international students is unpaid. They're doing this mostly out of experience building. Also, there are a lot more career opportunities and higher salaries in the STEM field. I have read an article several weeks ago when I did another presentation, because I have a 17-year-old who's also ready to apply for university and colleges. And we go through a lot of searching on different majors and including the STEM major. The top 7 so far we have researched are all in computer science and engineering. Depending on which region, as we know, on the West Coast in the United States, the pay is always higher. Of course, the expenses, tuition sometimes higher as well. But the average engineering around about $70,000 for undergraduate. Computer science is about $68,000 a year. Data science and others about $60,000. We just had one student, which I just chatted with her. She's one of my undergraduate international students who worked in our office. She graduated last year during the pandemic. A lot of times we think, oh, international students, most of them will return back to their country. For this student, actually, she said she got several offers, multiple offers. She took one with a data science company. Her starting salary is about $61,000. That is in Atlanta, located in the southeast of the United States. Also, we just researched and talked to the chair of the computer science and other departments. For overall, our IT and STEM major students, especially in computer science, data science, information system, the job placement rate is around 85%. That is very significant. That, of course, including both domestic and international. Another advantages, or I would say unique characteristics of STEM field is they do prepare students in classroom during their study, the 4-year study at the university, a lot of research opportunities. Many students are conducting the project at undergraduate level with their professors and with their trainers and mentors. We do have 4 different research centers, like biomedical research centers at Georgia State University. Many undergraduate students starting year 2, actually as a sophomore, are engaged in those research. That prepares them for a lot more broader opportunities, like they can go to graduate school, conducting research, or even become a faculty in the future. Next, please. So at Georgia State, since we're using Georgia State as an example, those are some typical STEM majors we're offering here. Computer science, data science, as I mentioned, several students graduate from there, and starting with a mostly higher salary. I do know some other like education and other majors in psychology. Several students reported, most are international. Their starting salary about 40s, in the lower 40s. We also have biology, chemistry. Biology, most students would like to pursue is pre-medical. We also have biomedical, environmental science. Game design is another big hit and fast-growing majors. We also, as you know, Georgia State, located in Atlanta. Atlanta has become they call the East Hollywood, famous for its movie productions. Many of our students has become assistant directors or specialize in studio design, game design. That's another growth in job placement for the international students as well. Mathematics, information system. Information system are offered both at our College of Business as well as in our arts and science colleges. Khristin can mention more about details of each university colleges later. Also neurosciences, physics, and psychology. Also, education technology, we see a lot of growth in that area as well. So I'm going to turn back to Khristin, let her give you a more introduction and detailed information on Georgia State University.
All right. Thank you. All right, so a little bit more about Georgia State University is that we offer over 11 different colleges in school. So yes, we are considered a large institution with over 33,000 undergraduate students who study here, a total of 53,000 students. However, we still have a student faculty ratio to 32-1. So though it is a large institution, we are able to still allow those students to prepare that engagement and really get to know their professors and work closely with them. And being one of the largest public research institutions in the Southeast region, this allows you to actually participate in research opportunities all throughout your college career with Georgia State. As Peace mentioned, we are located in the capital of the state of Georgia. So we're the largest in the Southeast region. And as far as accessibility, there are so many numerous different opportunities for internships, for assistantships, work study positions, and really to allow you to apply the information and the knowledge that you're learning within the classroom in the real world experience. So that's what a lot of students are always looking for, is that real world experience. And not only are you getting to apply that knowledge, but you're also building your resume along your college experience. So by the time you graduate, or even before you graduate, you may have a job opportunity. You may have that leadership experience. You may have experience in general in that specific field, so that you are getting your name out there, and your networking is awesome. Some of our colleges and schools that we have the Andrew Young School of Policy Studies. So students who are looking to go into government, or looking to work for the government, or into law. This is majority where you'll be taking your classes out of. Nursing is also very popular at Georgia State. So if you know for sure you're wanting to go into that nursing field, become an RN by the time you graduate and finish with your bachelor's of nursing school, a lot of times you're going to be taking your classes out of here. One thing about a nursing program is that you will start as a pre-nursing major, and then once you take your lower division classes, you'll then apply to our nursing school to start taking those upper level division courses. So there are GPA requirements and actual other requirements that you must meet before you can actually apply to nursing school, but you at least can start that pre-nursing track by the time you actually get to the end of your year. College of School Arts and Sciences is our largest college that we have at Georgia State. So a lot of students will start at their general education courses taken out of here, such as your biologies, your chemistries, your intro classes. So a lot of biology, chemistry, biomedical sciences will be starting here and finish your classes out of there as well. College of Arts, so this is something that is starting to rise, especially for those game designs for individuals who are interested in that film and media design. J. Mac Robinson is probably our most popular school that we have, and actually probably the largest that we have at Georgia State. And one thing about our business program, our business college that we have, there are 23 concentrations within the actual major itself. So there's a variety of different, like accounting, marketing, I think it's real estate, business administration. So there's so many different concentrations that you can specialize in within our business school. And they hold different honors. They speak at a conference every single year. And we are top tier when it comes to competing with some of these larger institutions that we compete against. So I love talking about our business program just because there's so many different opportunities to go in with that as well. We also have School of Public Health. College of Law is a master's program. So students who are wanting to go into law or become an attorney, you will start with our pre-law track, and then you can apply to our actual law school. And then we have colleges that are specific as our honors college and perimeter college. So I'll talk a little bit more about that during our next couple of slides. But yeah, we do have specific colleges, honors and perimeter college. To give you a couple of statistics about Georgia State is that we are number 2 in the best undergraduate teaching in the U.S. We're also the second as the most innovative institution in the nation. So given that, we really took advantage of being an innovative institution when the COVID and pandemic came around. So this really didn't stop us or close the doors for anything. We continued to rise and gain an enrollment during this time. So I love being an innovative institution because we are able to move a lot of things online. We were even able to offer the students who may not have been able to travel to the United States to still start their journey at Georgia State University through our Perimeter College, which offers over 30 different pre-major associate degrees that you can take up. So a lot of students, what they would do, they started online, and then once they were able to obtain their visa, they were able to transition to on-campus classes for the next terms. So that's one thing that's very interesting and very beneficial to a lot of our international students, is being an innovative institution and taking advantage of our online program that you can take up. And then lastly, we are number 10 in the nation for campus ethnic diversity. We have a large population of international students here. We represent over 170 different countries at our university. And we even offer over 400 clubs and organizations that students can take up. Those organizations vary from your personal interests, from cultural aspect, and then you can even start a club that we may not have yourself. So all you have to do, just get a couple of students that are interested in that, and you can start that club. And now I like to say you are the CEO of a club or organization. A little bit about admissions requirements for our fall 21. So this is a screenshot of what our averages look like from this past fall year. So for our Atlanta campus, you had a high school core GPA of at least a 3.51. A lot of this is a weighted GPA. However, we only look at your core classes. So that's your sciences, your maths, your English, foreign languages, and your social sciences as well. Our overall average SAT score for reading and math only was a 1280. And then we had an overall ACT score of a 27. For students who are interested in applying for honors or wanting to be considered for honors, our average GPA was a 3.91. Our SAT reading and math only was an overall of a 1410. And our ACT was an overall of a 31. One thing about Honors College is that any student that applies to Georgia State University, you are automatically considered for Honors College. So this is a top 10 percentile of students of that freshman year. And also there's an opportunity for students to apply for a presidential scholarship. So our presidential scholarship will cover majority of your tuition. However, it may not cover your room and board or your meals, but this is going to give you a great discounted rate for rather than having to pay the full out-of-state tuition price. Transitioning to our Perimeter College. So Peace mentioned earlier a little bit about our Perimeter College, but this is our 2-year associate degrees, and they do offer over 30 different majors that you can take up. Our average GPA is a 2.5, and then SAT or ACT is not required, but students are still required to submit English proficiency if you are from a non-native speaking country. So I want to move a little bit more about the application requirements. So in order to be considered for Georgia State, and just to keep in mind any university that you are applying to, there are some core admission requirements that you're going to be having to take up. So one, you're going to have to apply. So submit your application. Majority of your applications are going to be online. Another common application is called Common Application. So if you have not familiarized yourself with this is a portal. It's an application portal that allows you to use one application to apply for multiple different schools that are participating in Common Application. So any freshman, that new fresh year applicant who is applying to Georgia State is going to be will be using the Common Application. So that's Georgia State Atlanta. However, we do have another application that's for all other students, such as your transfer students or any student that's interested in applying to Perimeter College, which is our university application. It's called our Slate application. So you must maintain at least a cumulative GPA of a 3.0 or higher for the Atlanta admission requirements. You do have to submit SAT or ACT. This is required. And then also English proficiency tests. So we do not accept Duolingo, but we do accept your TOEFL, your IELTS, and there's multiple different ways that you can satisfy that English proficiency requirement. For transfer students, you must complete at least 30 semester credit hours if you are considered a true transfer student. And also, you'll have to submit a course-by-course evaluation from any university that you studied outside the United States. We use NACES approved, and we also have a partnership with our SpanTran, which is very fast and efficient and cost efficient for our students who are needing to complete a course-by-course evaluation. And another thing, for all of our freshman applicants, we offer an in-house evaluation for all secondary documents. So you're not required to get your high school information evaluated, because we do have a specific person who is able to do that. And then if you don't leave with anything else regarding this presentation, I do want to really highlight our Georgia State's 2+2 Region Engineering Transfer Program. So what this offers, so we don't have engineering at a 4-year bachelor's degree for our Atlanta campus. However, we do offer a 2-year associate degree at Perimeter College, and this allows a strong foundation for students who are wanting to go into STEM programs. So what you can start at Perimeter College. You'll do like a pre-engineering, or you can start with the pre-medical or science major, whichever you are looking to apply for. And then once you have completed your 2-year associate's degree, gotten majority of your general education courses out, you can easily transition to one of our cohort partnership schools that we have. And there's over like 6 to 7 different universities that we actually partner with in the USG system. So we have University of Georgia, which is called UGA. They are well known for their tech and their STEM programs. We have Kennesaw State University, also a well-known school for their STEM programs. Georgia Institute, so Georgia Tech. We also have Georgia Southern University, Mercer University, and a few others. But however, if there's a school or institution that you're interested in that's outside of Georgia State or outside of Georgia, a lot of these courses will easily transfer over to several different institutions. So that is something that a lot of our students will take advantage of. Perimeter College also is it's lower tuition and more cost efficient as well for students. So it's a great way to start your career, and then you can finish or transfer into a 4-year program of your choice. All right, so moving on a little bit about scholarships and aid. So there are a few different scholarship opportunities for our international students. We have merit-based scholarships, need-based scholarship, out-of-state waiver, tuition waivers, departmental awards, and project-based awards as well. I do want to highlight our out-of-state tuition waiver that we offer to our international students. So every single international student who's an F1 or J1 visa, and for freshmen, if you have a 3.6 or higher overall GPA, you can be considered for a 100% tuition waiver. We also offer 50% tuition waivers for students who have an overall GPA of 3.3 to a 3.5. Again, this is based upon your core classes, but however, every single international student that applied that falls in that J1 or F1 visa status are automatically considered. So there's no additional application to apply for, but however, it is a first come, first served scholarship. So you have your deadline March 1st to get that up, to get all of your documents in so you can be considered. Our fall term is the more availability for scholarships. So we always encourage students who are looking or seeking for scholarships to apply for our fall term, because spring term is very limited. But however, just get your documents in before that given deadline so that we can consider you for scholarship. And a little bit about our 100% scholarship. So it will allow you to pay the in-state tuition rate. So that is a great significant discount on your tuition so that you're not paying the full out-of-state pocket expense. So that's all I have for you as far as the presentation portion. So now I will open up the floor and you all can ask us any questions regarding Georgia State or just studying STEM here in the United States.
So please go ahead and post your questions and I can read them aloud. Okay, meanwhile, the audience is gathering their questions. So I'm wondering, what would you suggest in terms of preparation to apply for STEM degrees? What students should think about, how they should get prepared for the STEM degrees so that you can see them as prospective and highly qualified candidates? Thanks.
So I'm gonna jump in to start to answer, and then Kristen, you can add on later. So I do think for any major, especially the STEM major, is very competitive. Several rules. Number one, timing. The earlier, the better. So if you are a high school student right now, you are in your 10th or the 11th, do all your research as you can based on the program, not only by ranking. The overall ranking sometimes is not really providing you with a detailed picture. I would definitely do the major and also do the location. You can also check with the university's career services or international students offices and say, hey, I wanted to know some more data. What is your international students, job placement, OPT in this and this area? For STEM major, a lot of times is important for you to consider co-op internship. Any university providing with these opportunities would definitely adds a lot of value in the future, no matter you're wanting to find a job here or go back to your own country later on. So number one, do your research, right? Timing is very important. Apply, prepare earlier, apply earlier. And many universities have the limited seats, especially for computer science or biology, those very popular major. Once they reach a certain limit, a cap, uh, very difficult to get in. If you are a unique, highly qualified student, do consider EA or even ED so that at least to secure a higher chances for you to get in. Okay. And the next one is to consider your financial, prepare your financial like financial statements, getting your visa if you do need a I-20, getting all your documents prepared together. So when you get admission, you can apply right away. Most universities allow you to apply, submit all the documents 48 to 72 hours upon admission. So for us, for example, if we accept students on Monday, students will get a notification, upload the documents within 72 hours so that you can submit your documents, generating your I-20, then you can prepare for the next one. Because once you get an I-20, you can decide how much money you're getting, the financial aid or scholarships from each university, right? And what major you're getting. Some university like us, we allow you to choose one and two majors, number one, number two. If number one major is filled or you're not qualified, you will always be put into number two. So you can combine getting multiple offers from different university. Then you can analyze what major you really want to go to, how much money, how much financial aid or scholarship you receive from each university. So absolutely do the earlier planning.
Absolutely. Yeah. I certainly agree everything with you, what you said, Peace. Another thing that I see as well that encourage students to do, if you do have the opportunity to take like IB courses, honor classes, advanced classes as well, take advantage of that, especially to get a little versatile on your actual GPA. A lot of organizations and institutions that are STEM program, they're going to look at your science courses, they're going to look at your mathematics courses. So it's important to challenge yourself, so if you have some IB advanced courses that you can take advantage of it. Another thing I do want to add on is just finding a mentor. So if you want to go into STEM, but you're not sure all of the careers and different opportunities that are within the major, find a mentor or an organization that is doing a job that you show interest in. Go ahead and start doing your research, job shadow with them, start connecting with them, email the organization, see if you can just job shadow a day for someone who actually runs is in a position that you're looking to do, because that will give you a better understanding. Like, is this position for me? Can I challenge myself to do this? Will I be successful in this position as well? So one thing that I did whenever I came into to college in general, like I thought I wanted to go into nursing myself. However, like I'm very appreciative of my experience, but I ended up as a psychology major. So just if I would have did a little bit more exploring ahead of time, I think I would have been a little bit more prepared. So like P said, just really preparing yourself for different careers and seeing what it's all about, doing your research in advance.
Okay, thank you. Just a quick question to follow up. Some students say, okay, in our school, we don't have challenging courses, or we are not allowed, to choose the courses. So that's the case actually for the pretty much the majority of the students in Ukraine. So how would you suggest to go about it?
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and start. Another thing that's also great is ACT or SAT. I always encourage that as far as ACT, that is more like science based and etc. So ACT high scores are going to really to give you the opportunity to stand out. If there's opportunities to do an essay and to share your experience, because one thing I always encourage our students at Georgia State, we are a large institution, so we're reading out thousands of applications every single day. So what can you put on your application or your resume that is going to point you out to have you stand out of the crowd? So there, yes, even though if you can't pick, challenging courses, SAT, ACT is something that a lot of institutions are going to look at. Your experiences, your resume, and your essay also can come in play. So have a very versatile background and add your awards, your activities, your honors, anything that you know that you have done in high school that it may not be what your typical incoming student is going to be. Go ahead and do so. And one thing that I was told is, especially starting your high school career, have a booklet or have some type of folder that you can keep everything in one place, everything that you get involved in, the community service, leadership experience, write it down as you go along your career, because that's only going to help you prepare and add different uniques and distinctions on your application as you start applying to colleges.
Okay, thank you. So pretty much be active and seek out opportunities and create them by yourself. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think I want to add on a little bit. We have some students providing some interesting stories. Many of them are from the countries their curriculum is all set, especially from Asia. But we absolutely think students have done outside of their classroom, outside of the curricular setting. One of the students from India who has developed a little app and to help the Indian students locating to get around the city, like a little traffic app. And also there are other students who want to do is monitoring temperature around their cities. So we do have a called like a Panther Lunch, which is an entrepreneurial center supporting our students with the ideas and the business settings, like incubator, providing them funding, providing them with guidance. So even though you are not a STEM major or you have not done a lot of STEM related curriculum while you're in high school, but if you want it, you have some ideas, do present it in your essay, do present it during your time outreach to the university. Let them know this is the creative side of you. Communication is very, very important. So we do holistic review. I do believe a lot of university now with SAT and ACT being optional during the pandemic are starting looking more outside of just your regular transcript, your test score. We do look a lot of other areas to determine your qualification. So the way how you present yourself, the way how you be creative and outreach and to get yourself prepared, that's most important.
Okay, thank you. So we have a question. Do you have PhD degrees?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Okay, approximately how many? Can you maybe name some?
I just had a research yesterday. I do believe we have at least 19. Um, but I wanted to making sure this is all correct. Um, PhD majors. For the arts and sciences, let me see here. Do a quick search in the STEM major. So we do have the PhD from the arts and sciences. So we have the biology. Let me see else.
I know there's some education PhD programs,
Yeah.
leadership.
Yeah, it's our. Just give me a minute. Let me give you some more. Let's see.
Thank you for looking it up.
Okay, so I got it right here.
Thanks.
So for the PhD program under the Arts and Science College, we have applied linguistics, astronomy, biology, chemistry, communications, computer science, English, history, mathematics, neurosciences, physics, political science, psychology, sociology. On the business college, we have accounting,
Wow.
business administration, computer information system, finance, general business management, marketing, risk management, real estate. And education, of course, there's a lot of them. And we do have a JD program, which is a Doctor of Law. And we also have science, health professions, which is nursing. I didn't know we even have that level.
Wow.
Occupational therapy and physical therapy. Also, another Georgia State well-known is our public policy studies. Criminal justice has PhD, economics have PhD, public policy, and public health.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Khristin, for the link. I will just put it on our on our YouTube channel so that everyone can see it. Thank you so much for sharing the link. So we have some more questions. So what is the application deadline for master degree? Maybe like you have like a general time frame, so to say.
And one thing that I would say, and Peachy can jump in as well, for our master's and graduate departments, a lot of deadlines are going to vary based upon your degree that you choose. Because some will admit for only fall only, or some may admit for spring only, and some may not admit for the summer. So that I don't necessarily know all the deadlines for each of the actual graduate programs, but however, definitely you can check out like our graduate admissions. We can provide that information to provide like if there's a certain master's degree that you're interested in, they'll be able to tell you those deadlines.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, generally it's March 1st. Usually it's March 1st, and because that's the time when they consider the students for the scholarships and also graduate assistantship.
Okay, so another question. Do you have genetic engineering?
Georgia State does not offer any engineering specific track. So we do offer a lot of sciences related. We don't have neurosciences. I don't believe we have engineering in genetic sciences. Double check. No, we don't. But our neighbor Georgia Tech, they do.
Okay. So the next question is, I would like to study biochemistry. How many labs practice do you have during education?
For which degree?
They said chemistry.
Biochemistry major, master degree.
That's a very good question, which I have no idea, but
Yeah, this is very specific, right?
that's very specific. Yeah, it's a good question. We might have to get back with you later on. We do know how many hours they require, but how many lab hours?
Yeah, thank you so much for so great questions. Okay, so we'll probably get back to that question later on. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, what are the programs that are covered by the scholarship? And can we please have more details about doing a transfer to the American universities? Maybe you can provide us a link about transfer requirements.
Yeah, I can pull that link up for you.
Thank you so much.
I can generally speak as far as transferring for undergraduate specifically. For transfer students to be considered a true transfer, you have to have at least 30 transferable credits from an institution. What we ask as far as admission requirements for your general is that you have to submit your college transcript directly to us. We also have to have a course by course evaluation. So it's called an international credential evaluation, which will list all of your courses that you have taken outside the United States. It's going to compare it to the US equivalency. This is how institutions gather your overall GPA and the number of transferable credits that you have. And then usually it will go to an academic advisor so that the department can determine what type of credits to transfer in as based upon your major. So we see a lot of students, what they'll do, they have one degree or an associate's degree in one different major, but they want to actually get another degree in something different. So having that course by course evaluation, our advisors, our faculty department will be able to say, okay, you have this number of credits. This will be general credits. This will be a specific credit towards your actual major itself. But those are typically the requirements that you have. And of course, English proficiency for a transfer student. And then let me pull that link up for you.
So for the scholarship, I want to jump in to answer that question. I think you were asking about the scholarship. All international students, when they apply, they will automatically be considered for the out-of-state tuition waiver. Many U.S. universities, especially the public universities, we do offer lower tuition for our in-state residents, which are the taxpayer, and because we're a public institution supported by the state. And for the out-of-state, regardless you're from another country or another state, we do require them to pay out-of-state tuition. For example, our out-of-state tuition is about every semester is around, I would say, $12,000. Based on the credit, 12 credit hours is around $12,000 to $13,000. If you go up to 15 credit hours, is maybe go $16,000. However, for the in-state, the tuition is less than $5,000. So there's a almost like 2 times difference. For international students, we do consider them for a scholarship that amount equally to the out-of-state tuition portion. So that brings the tuition from around $15,000, $16,000 to about $5,000. And that specific scholarship is offered to any international student who is qualified. You will be automatically considered without any additional application. There's also presidential scholarship, especially for the students who are admitted to the honors college. That is required a specific application by December 15th. If you're applying by our earlier action around November 15th, and after you submit your regular application, and you can submit the presidential scholarship application. We also have other merit-based scholarship as well as department scholarship that is required after students admitted to Georgia State. Then you can apply to those kind of scholarship. Most scholarship for departmental are offered to current students with a higher GPA. So overall, we have students can receive up to $20,000 a year as international students.
Okay. Are there any questions left? Not covered yet?
And also, I want to mention something quickly. I do receive from another presentation. There are students asking about our, it's called a combined or like a undergraduate and master degree combined program,
Dual
which is
enrollment.
the way you finish your, traditionally you finish 4 year undergraduate and then you apply for graduate master level and then you finish another 2 year. So for this combined program, student can do a 5 year, which is 4+1. And many, for example, biology, chemistry, they do offer this combined program. So when the students get into Georgia State undergraduate after their 3rd year, the students can apply for the combined program. For transfer students, if you're transferring after 2 years from another country, you can apply for the combined program as well. That's required 2 layers of admission. One is by the undergraduate admission for your first study, and then in the meanwhile, we have to communicate with the graduate school, and they will consider you for the combined program by the department. That is getting a lot more attention from the international students because that saves time and money. And a lot of students receive scholarship coming in from the undergraduate level, and that carries on to the graduate level. So do search the combined program if you get the chance.
Wow, this is really cool. And yeah, I know that it's on the rise. Is there like a general link for those programs, or students need to look up by the major or by the school, or maybe there's like a general link if you can quickly probably pull up for the students?
Yeah, so we can do. I can provide you this one, but just remember, most universities, especially Georgia State, our websites are Googleable. So if you have any questions such as tuition, you can basically ask Google Georgia State University tuition and fees. They will pop up. You can ask how I contact international admissions. Like graduate admissions, undergraduate admissions. You can all Google. But for this specific combined program, I can send you the link so that I can share the link, for example. Let's see.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you so much for bringing this up. And also, you have mentioned pre-major programs. The same thing, right? You have to go to specific major, right? It's not like that's a separate link for pre-majors, right? So it's not all of them combined, but you need to look it up individually,
Yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I provide this link to you. This is the one for example, just one example for our chemistry department. When you click this link, there's a BS and MS, which is Bachelor of Science and a Master of Science combined. There's other programs. I don't have a list of all the combined, but I do know most of our College of Arts and Science do have the combined program.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just shared a link for college and arts dual enrollment programs. There's like a few programs on there. It may not be all of them at Georgia State, but it's a good majority of them.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm posting them. Okay, I have also a quick question. You have mentioned lots of opportunities in terms of career opportunities while studying and afterwards, of course. How do I, as a student, find out about those opportunities? Are there like bulletin boards? Career Center is like doing like fairs nowadays due to pandemic, online or like in person. These days, how does this like work in reality?
Yeah, so Georgia State has a very engaged career services on campus, and also each department. For example, the College of Business, they have their own career offices, and they also help their students because they believe to helping their students finding jobs, internships is the way to stand in advance. To attract the best international student and domestic students. So the student can get on campus. Actually, we have international students get an on-campus job first week when they arrive the U.S. and they wanted to start looking. So we have something called a handshake. They can just search Georgia State's on-campus work opportunity. We post like my office, ISS office, many other university units, departments are hiring international students or any students in general. They can use the handshake, and then they can go to another one. They have internships. We also have two different channels: the virtual fairs. During the pandemic, especially, we post every job opportunity, internship opportunity online through our career service website. And also, I heard a lot of international students actually find internships through their professor in class. If they were really enjoy, for example, I have accounting students. The professor hired the students to be as a tutor at the beginning at our learning center. Later on, help the students get an internship with one of the accounting firm in town, and then get OPT, which is optional practical training after the students graduate, and then offer the H-1B, which is the employment visa. That's step by step, all by one professor. The student didn't even go through our career services. So there are different channels students can engage. I even had one student, I don't know, Chris, you heard the story. The students was standing in a subway, standing in line, was doing search, and the guy standing behind of her, actually working is a CFO of a company, offered her an interview opportunity on site at the subway.
Yes.
So yeah, because we are in downtown Atlanta, there's more than 15 Fortune 500 companies headquarters over there. There's a lot of opportunity right now, as you know, especially in the pandemic, everywhere is hiring.
Yes.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
A lot of students actually reporting good job and higher paid positions.
Wow.
Yeah, the accessibility, just being our location alone, is very essential to our students. And just to add to piece is that we do have student success programs as well, like college to career. We also have different career fairs that we that will have people post, and or different organizations post, where they invite several different organizations and companies to one location, and then students, whenever they have some downtime or free time, they can go and just engage with different with organizations that are looking for new graduates to hire new graduates, and even they will invite different universities for graduate programs too. So definitely we try to, I always say, take advantage of our student resources that we have on campus, off campus, with professors, and just our location alone.
Yeah, just like by walking around, yeah, you get a job basically. Okay, we have, I believe, maybe the last question. When the programs usually start?
For the fall, that's our largest intake for international students. Started the last week of August. Like this year, we started on August 23rd. So because the application, so there's very different timelines and deadlines. Application for earlier action is November 15th. So that's where all the students get into the honors college, the presidential, and out-of-state tuition waiver, other scholarships. So November 15th. And we have a 2 weeks winter break. That is during the winter. I think this is unique for the university in the South. In our whole system, we have 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of December is our university closed, shut down. So before, normally it's 15th of December. From November 15th to December, that's when we release our first EA decisions. The excitement goes out along with the scholarships and any other unique opportunities. And then for the international, we have another deadline, which is April 1st. That's when the students will consider into different majors. However, still with opportunity for scholarships and others. However, it's going to be limited. The final deadline for pretty much everybody is for us is July 1st. July 1st is the deadline. There's no scholarships anymore. It's only for the student who apply for the perimeter college, who has some other issues, either due to delays on their exam, national exam, due to the pandemic. We have so many cancellations on their senior year final national exam. So we do give specific considerations or some kind of like case by case around July 1st. July 1st is absolutely the deadline. You cannot get in because you don't have enough time to apply for visa, getting your flight, or even dormitory. And then August 23rd, which is the third week of August, is our school starting. So that's pretty much the year round for international. For our spring semester. Class start the first week of January, normally the January 6th.
Yeah, I think it's a
Our
nice
school
year.
opens on January 3rd normally. Yeah. For the
Okay.
summer is first week of May.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so about the scholarships, there is another question. Do we have to apply after getting the admission?
As I said, only the presidential you do require apply, and also there might be other. If you are, U.S. citizen, or somehow, when you were young, your parents brought you to U.S., obtained the, green card or other. We have students actually, parents work in the U.S. as H-1B. The students are H-4, or if you travel here as a J visa. We do have something called an economic advantage waiver that is also provide about $20,000 a year for the international students. However, that is also need required. So presidential and economic advantage waivers are required a separate application. Anything else is automatically considered based on the eligibility for academic background.
This is really helpful. Thank you so much. So everything is like automatic, almost.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's the last question, absolutely, because we really need to wrap up. So the question is, do you have a master's program in data science, machine learning? If yes, is it possible to study there having a non-technical bachelor's diploma, or like bachelor's degree, I would say?
I'm not sure if we have that in the master's program.
We have master in data sciences, but not machinery.
Yeah, not machinery. That's specific.
Yeah.
And regarding, the technical background, whether it's needed like for this program or like for others, usually, or not really? Or it really depends?
It really depends, I would say. So, for example, the data science, and our major is called data science and analytics. Is a Master of Science degree. For that one, we focus a lot more on recommendation and students what they have done during the undergraduate study. Some universities they do require working experience, but I've seen a decrease in requiring that over the years. Maybe in 2003, when I completed my master's degree, I saw a lot of universities require, but now not many. However, for MBA, I do see they still require at least 3 years minimum requirements in professional area. Data science, analytics, not so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think we really need to wrap up. I think that was really a productive session. Thank you so much for giving so many practical things about studying STEM in the US, and that you really need to be proactive and on the lookout, not only on campus, but outside.
Yeah.
And those who seek opportunities, they actually do find them. So I would like to thank our wonderful speakers. So thank you so much for being here tonight with us. And please do stay in touch and be well. Yeah, I think that's really important nowadays. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you all so much. I'm gonna put last hour international admissions email here.
Yes, please.
If you guys have any questions, always ask, and we're always here. The thing great about us is we are responding all inquiries through email. So of course, our wonderful Education USA staff, and if you guys need any question can relates to either one of us, let us know. We're always going to be here, support you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I have posted all the information that you have kindly provided. Again, thank you so much for your time and investment in this seminar. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your day again. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.